And we were also able to get like their email or their phone number. And that allowed us to like have an email list now of like I think we have over 23,000 people.
Wow.
And that was in a short period of time. You know, that happened in about a year.
Okay. So now, Kennedy, in your own words, before that, were you already doing kind of what you're doing now, right? And let me give some context for those who are watching this. So if you're not familiar with Kennedy Ryon, please go check out her Instagram just so you can see firsthand all of the cool stuff she's doing. And you'll be able to see that she's using keywords in her captions that are able to trigger actions, right? So in your own words, Kennedy, were you doing any of that kind of stuff before you connected with Ben in the Kaizen place? And, you know, how did you feel about doing that once you did start doing that? Because, you know, a lot of artists get nervous about asking their audience for something because they're worried about what if nobody interacts? What if nobody replies? So one, were you doing that before y'all all connected? And then two, how did you work through like the stage fright, if you had any, of asking people to take an action?
Damn, I feel like this is a great question, but this is also, I feel like, more of a Josh question. My memory is not serving me right now. And he mainly came up with like the mini chat, like going that route as well.
Okay. Well, with that said, I'm going to swing it to Kosh here in just a second, but I also want to just hear about when you started to do that, right? And just put that out there where you're asking for somebody, you know, comment the word tour and I'll send you tickets, right? How did you feel about that? What emotions did that evoke as an artist? Did you feel a bit on edge, nervous about that? And how did you personally overcome that, just by seeing it work? Or, you know, what did you feel?
I definitely was nervous. One, it was new. I wasn't really seeing it be done by anyone else as much, if at all, at the time. But also, two, just nervous or kind of like anxious because I didn't want people to feel like I'm trying to like sell them something. Or sometimes also, two, people's attention spans, no disrespect to people because my attention span is not the best. Just the attention span, and you're asking people you're like directing them to do something else. But mainly just anxious. I didn't want people to feel like I was like a product or something.
Right. And then I'm assuming as you started seeing it working, it was easier for you to become more and more comfortable with seeing it play out, right? Okay. All right. So now, Kosh, yeah, she said that you kind of played a key role in kind of making that all come to life. And that's definitely a key component of everything in the machine you guys have created. So talk about that from your perspective, just, you know, how that came about, you know, how you came up with that idea and, you know, just your experience in general there.
Yeah. So I think that what I was seeing is there was this tool, and then we were able to capitalize on it with Kaizen, and other people were using that tool to get people to take action on things that they were doing. And I was also realizing that like link in the bio at that time was kind of like becoming, people were becoming kind of like tone deaf to that. And so I was like, well, I don't really see anybody doing this in music. And that's kind of a lot of where my strategy comes from. Like I started in consulting and marketing. So I applied a lot of those strategies to just music, because I felt like if they've worked here, why can't they work here? And so in regards to that, I was just like, this might be an avenue to collect like people's phone number or email or some data that we can then reach out to them. And that could be like the game changer for like our business. But what I didn't realize and what came to pass, and I say this humbly, but also with confidence, like I think we may have been the first like artists to really do this around that time, which was like beginning of 2024. What I didn't realize was that it actually made the streaming even better. So like the amount of streaming that happened because of it was like probably tenfold what I could have even imagined. And I think that was because we didn't make people jump through hoops in order to go listen to a song. They were able to access it very quickly. And we were also able to get like their email or their phone number. And that allowed us to like have an email list now of like I think we have over 23,000 people.
Wow.
And that was in a short period of time. You know, that happened in about a year. So, and it would have been even bigger than that, but you want to be smart about who you're still reaching out to if they're not like engaging with the emails. So we unsubscribed a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I'll comment on that too, actually. I think like, because I'm thinking about even the people who are going to watch what we're all talking about right now. A lot of artists are going to watch this and are learning so much from it. But I think that like something that I have learned so much from Kennedy and from Kosh is like the relationship is there between you and your fans. And so that alone removes a ton of fear around like, are we being weird about like encouraging them to go listen to the music or take action on this thing I'm offering, whether it's the tour tickets or whatever, because it's just so clear, like the value is there in the art and the person.
What's good? I hope you're enjoying the video, but check this out. You're actually late. Our community members get early access to everything that's on YouTube and access to the stuff that never makes it here. Like our exclusive courses, like access to funding and everything we have inside of here, all of the resources and tools that'll help you market your music, level up your career, early access to conversations, funding, and let's not forget a community of over 400 members that you're able to network with all across the US and the globe. So if you want to go ahead and really level up your career, hit that button in the description, join the community today, and we'll see you inside. Let's get back to the video.
Of Kennedy Ryan, and people want to be closer to that, to the music, to the person. And so you guys and you know, this whole team, I think does an amazing job at just like, it's not a weird ask. It's actually just making it easier for your fans to do the thing that they're trying to do. They want to be closer to you. They want to be involved in your story and your career and stuff like that. So like the removing of the clicks, you know, to get to something or things like that, it's really benefiting the fans because it's not something that like you're having to fight to try and sell. So that's one piece of it, just like a perspective also. Sure, maybe from the tech side of providing like the accessible tools to set that up, but even just from the like fan side of things, I think that's how it feels even to me.
Yeah, I agree with that. The only other piece I wanted to add to that is, to Kennedy's point, I think a lot of artists are nervous about asking people to do something. I think that's just like the standard emotion that most people feel in life, but pushing through that is how you succeed. And also, the piece about selling a song, the big piece about that is songs sell everything. Like songs drive millions, probably billions of dollars in advertising in the world. It's easier to sell a great song than it is to sell anything because you're not really asking for a lot. You're just asking somebody to go listen.
Yeah. And Ben, did you want to add something there?
Sorry, yeah, one more thing. I also don't let me keep going for too long. I'll take over.
You're good.
No, I'm kidding. I think also like even the messaging that now I tell so many other artists that I work with and other artists using Kaizen Place to do this is pointing out how impactful a fan's support goes a long way too, because like we were just saying, like the fans want to be a part of the story and want to see something win that they believe in. So that kind of messaging is so effective and it's just authentic and real. Like whenever Kennedy's like, you know, when you support me by purchasing early access, it lets me keep doing this bigger and better. And like that kind of messaging just goes a long way. It's not like, hey, like timid, if you want to support me, that'd be awesome. No pressure though. It's like really encouraging, something that I think everybody wants to do, which is like, let's make this happen.
Yeah, I think all of that is very insightful. And now, you know, Kennedy, I think one thing that I thought was kind of smart and kind of depressurized things, the way you asked as well, because with a lot of the things you do, it's like DM me the word tour or DM me the word this or that. And so for those artists out there that feel nervous about asking the audience, nobody knows but you how many people DM'd you. So that can kind of take some of that pressure off if you're worried about maybe using that action to say, hey, comment this, and then it's front facing where people can see how many comments you got. By asking for those DMs instead, that kind of takes away some of that pressure.